What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
What's up, guys? How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course. Shout out to everybody that's been following us on our Instagram, Def2Radio, which is DEAF2 Radio. Make sure y'all follow us there. And also follow us on our website, Def2Radio.com. That's now available. That's basically a membership site that we've been working on. And it's a site that we encourage up-and-coming artists to come to as well. We had a site that we were working on in the past. That was a disaster. So this is sort of a new version of that site. We made it more community-based this time around. We were inspired by like our Patreon community. So we wanted to move towards more of a community-based site, but we still encourage up-and-coming hip-hop artists to go onto that site. We have a group. I literally just created it yesterday. I want y'all to start posting your music in that group. And we'll be checking that group out daily.
Yes,
so we're going to be checking it out, seeing what you guys have to offer. And if we find something that we like and that inspires us, we may be putting you guys in front of our video. We'll feature you in some way, maybe on the site. Check out Def2Radio.com. It's a good way to support the channel.
All right, man. So we are getting back to NF, man. What have we done? The search.
How could you leave us?
How could you leave us?
Heavy stuff.
Yeah,
How
man.
could you leave us? Very, very heavy stuff there.
Yep. Outro.
Yep, we did the outro. Yep. So we've done a few from NF. It's been a while, man.
Yep.
You guys have been telling us to get back to him for quite some time. And we just have a lot that we do, guys. Sometimes people just kind of fall under the radar.
And he has Cordae on there.
Let's get into it. NF and Cordae. Careful.
Stunning on me, you get exposed. I don't wanna pick, then I bite bold. Doesn't go plat, it'll go gold. Keep it up front, I don't tiptoe. I be at the house trying to lay low. Ducking and dodging a promo. Sit on my roof like J. Cole. Yeah, sit on my roof like J. Cole. Thinking about how I'm so thankful. Subpar songs, I don't make those. Look at that car I paid for. Look at my life, I'm grateful. Hating on me, that's hateful. You know I hit what I aim for. Talking about risks, I take those. Didn't get air, be careful.
Talking about risk, I take those. Millionaire still ride with the Draco. Court side of the game, Jumbotron got my name on it. That's how a typical day goes. I just left Nigeria, Lagos. I just met Kanye, Yazos. I was talking to God, but was real or was not. All he said was remain faithful. Okay, I get it, I got it, I'm with it, I'm about it. My crib is exotic, I'm blessed. Hey, we living chaotic, was high off narcotics, but that's when my life was a mess. Hey, we come from the bottom, we still at the bottom. I get high to really distress. Hey, I don't think y'all get the message. This world is built off misconceptions. Talking about greed, talk about envy, talk about money, then we talking about plenty. Talking about dollars, then we talk about pennies. Talk about drinking, then we talk about Henny. What we talking about? Lost souls at a crossroads, money coming in large loads. I've been crossed, so my heart cold. That's all we know.
Stunning on me, you get exposed. I don't wanna pick, then I bite bold. Doesn't go plat, it'll go gold. Keep it up front, I don't tiptoe. I be at the house trying to lay low. Ducking and dodging a promo. Sit on my roof like J. Cole. Yeah, sit on my roof like J. Cole. Thinking about how I'm so thankful. Subpar songs, I don't make those. Look at that car I paid for. Look at my life, I'm grateful. Hating on me, that's hateful. You know I hit what I aim for. Talking about risks, I take those. Didn't get air, be careful. Called him my dad and I told him I got you. You wanna retire, then do it, you're good. Called him my grandma and told her it's time to move out of that basement. Let's get you a crib. Called him my manager, told him get ready, it's about to get busy. This record is. Called up the God and I asked him, you watching my back? He ain't say nothing back, but I heard what he said. When you see how I'm living, the answer is obvious. Ain't it when you go from poverty stricken and stressing about buying the groceries to not even having to look at the total? You know you've been blessed. Sharing the wealth ain't no point in me keeping this all to myself. I ain't taking this money with me to my grave. Yeah, I might as well bless all the people I love. We talking about making a difference I'm making when talking about risks I've been taking. I'm talking about dreams I've been chasing. I'm talking about lives I've been changing. I'm talking about family, don't play with them. That's a line you don't cross, no. Low blows, can't respect those. Gotta keep the loved ones close. That's all we know. Stunning on me, you get exposed. I don't wanna pick, then I bite bold. Doesn't go plat, it'll go gold. Keep it up front, I don't tiptoe. I be at the house trying to lay low. Ducking and dodging a promo. Sit on my roof like J. Cole. Yeah, sit on my roof like J. Cole. Thinking about how I'm so thankful. Subpar songs, I don't make those. Look at that car I paid for. Look at my life, I'm grateful. Hating on me, that's hateful. You know I hit what I aim for. Talking about risks, I take those. Didn't get air, be careful.
It's so funny, man. It's not even And that sounded better than I thought it was going to sound. I know that sounds bad for me to say, but I didn't really have high hopes for this song because I was like, I don't know how these two are going to sound together. But I will say NF chose kind of, well, I don't know if he chose because I don't listen to a lot of NF songs, but the songs that we have listened to, that we've reacted to, it seemed like he was a little bit unhinged on those songs and very passionate and like, y'all don't know what I've been through, motherfucker. It's very aggressive, but disturbing aggressive. But the way he was like, I don't want to pick, so I mind my own. The way he was in this pocket, it was very different than what I thought he was going to approach this song like, you know? So I thought this worked. I'm like, yeah, it fit right in. And I thought Cordae and him meshed really well on this song. I feel like people like NF for one big reason, man. He seems like he's humbled, man. He's humbled by life. Not having money to buy groceries and, you know, until now he's buying groceries and don't even look at what the total is and told my grandmother she can move out of the basement and bought her a crib. And then he kind of went into, you know, hey, you know, talk about risks, I'm taking them. You know, talk about dreams, I'm chasing them. I don't know NF, but it seems like he is a average kid from any average neighborhood that maybe had trials and tribulations that a lot of people can identify with, man. He wears his heart on his sleeve and he kind of bears it all. And I feel like people can identify with that, you know, and he's not like all braggadocious about what he's accomplished. He's more so comes from a blessed and a humbled and a thankful standpoint. So I really like this offering from him. As opposed to some of the other things that we've done from him. I've appreciated what he's able to bring to the table, and I appreciate him being the vulnerability that he's able to display when he's, you know, in his songs. But I really feel like this was a good mix of like, okay, I'm still doing what I do, and I'm still humble, but it was a little bit more controlled. It wasn't so screechy and
emotional,
over, you know, off the rails, so to speak, you know? So I thought this was a good offering, man. And like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. So I thought this was a good offering from both of these artists, man.
Listen, man, it's hard to critique somebody like NF because he comes from a humble place, like Ryan mentioned. He seems to be his authentic self. I really do feel like the things that he talks about comes from a real place. I don't feel like it's disingenuous at all. I do think the beat works. I think it's one of those beats that just seems to almost like if they did a study on what people are gonna like nod their heads to and bang. It's a sort of a trap bass note in here, so it's gonna work for most people to hear it. But I feel like it's a bit phoned in. I mean, I do respect the fact that he said about his grandmother and all that. He kind of got real in that second verse, but I do feel like the approach cadence-wise, the beat itself is a bit phoned in, like pretty samey to what we've heard from a modern standpoint. And I think NF knows that. I think NF knows that he's probably known as the guy that makes those emotionally charged songs that, and he has these concepts or whatever that he seems like. I think with The Search, he did that as well. He's battling his inner demons and all this other stuff. So I think he realized, like, okay, let me make a pretty generic, straightforward, phoned in trap-like song that's kind of upbeat, but still doesn't take me away from who I am. Not too abrasive, not too challenging, just kind of works from a sound perspective, and it's going to work for a lot of people. I remember reading something on NF, and he said that he was a Christian rapper. Not a Christian rapper, but a rapper that happens to be Christian. If that makes sense, right? Like I'm Christian in faith, but I don't make Christian rap music. I want my perspective to be for everyone, not just for people who are Christians. And when I hear NF, I hear that. Typically with Christian rap, man, the message needs to be easy to understand. There's a very basic quality to the lyricism that I feel like is deliberate, and that you want that message to be easily heard and easily understand and easily absorbed. And it's usually positive, even if he's talking about things that were hard for him. There's a positive undertone. You know, and I feel like that with NF. I'm not saying he makes Christian rap music, but I do hear him being a Christian in his music. I feel like he's very careful not to touch subject matter that can make him come off like he's not a good person at heart or that he has questionable morals or ethics, right? I feel like that is his music. So look, dude, I respect what NF brings to the table, man. You know what I mean? Obviously his music is definitely not for me. I can't see myself really listening to this, man. It's a bit basic for my taste, but dude, you can't deny, man, this guy is authentic in what he believes, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. And I understand, man. I understand why people love NF. And I thought Cordae's verse was I thought it was okay on this, man, to be honest with you. with you. But shout out to both of them, though. Shout out to NF. Shout out to Cordae. And guys, make sure y'all follow us on Def the Radio. Def the Radio, DEAF, #2 radio.com. That's our website. Join the site, man. We want real conversations, man. We don't want the super groupies, but we don't want the super trolls either. We want people with balanced opinions. If you're an up-and-coming artist, man, make sure y'all join our groups, man. We have a hip-hop group for up-and-coming artists, that newly signed or unsigned artists. So if you're trying to get your music out there, we really want you to, develop your craft, man. Get some real feedback. And we want y'all to really post your music on there because we're going to be checking it out, man. There's been some artists on the old site that we had that we really rock with. And they were getting a lot of burn before the site started fucking up. But they were getting a lot of burn and a lot of attention. I think our site could be like the breeding ground. That's what we wanted before, the breeding ground for up-and-coming artists to hone their craft, get some good feedback. So make sure y'all post your music in there, Spotify, YouTube links, all that. Join that group. The link for that will be in the description. That's it. I'm George. That's Ryan. Lost to Vegas.
We out.